the COO of International, who's going to be talking about fleet as a key driver to decarbonization. Carlos.
Good morning, and welcome to the London EV Show. My name is Carlos Carriedo, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this week's conferences and to kick off a dialogue around what it means for this community to charge into the future, looking for greener solutions for fleets. But first, let me tell you a bit about why I'm here today, and I'll start with a personal reflection. I'm a proud father of 3 kids, between the ages of 10 and 14. And my middle son, whose name is Pablo, is a very inquisitive kid. And when I joined WEX, he asked me, so Dad, what do you do at WEX? I said, hey, it's very easy, Pablo. We're a technology company that does B2B payments. Thinking that was a simple answer. A week later, same kid, Pablo. Dad, so what do you do at WEX? Like, Pablo, we do solutions for B2B clients who have complex payment needs, thinking that had settled the question. But then, a couple of weeks later, Pablo comes back with the exact same question, same kid, same question. I'm like, it's not clear what we do at WEX, which brings me to why we're here today. WEX is a company that helps solve complex issues for businesses of all sizes, especially in our case, fleet managers and businesses whose business model is based on transportation generally. And in solving complex problems in the world's environment, it is very tricky today for businesses whose future depends on efficiency, on transportation as their backbone. And this is not just logistics companies. This is companies whose supply chain is reliant on being efficient in how they move goods around. And the appetite for these businesses and from fleet managers to drive change is clearly there. WEX has the responsibility to help business owners manage over 18 million vehicles globally. 18 million vehicles, where today they have a lot of their solutions through momentum and legacy solutions. And they're thinking about changing. And in thinking about changing, a lot of the questions we're being asked today are around, is this the right time for me to look at EV as a solution for my fleet? What is the right technology for my fleet? When do I start moving in that direction? Because all these are complicated matters for any business whose livelihood depends on getting this right. And when it comes to B2B payments, you cannot get it wrong. When it comes to managing fleets, you cannot get it wrong. Because if you get it wrong, you can disrupt a whole industry. You can disrupt a whole supply chain. So why is transport important in this environment? As many of you know, the transport industry generates a significant amount of emissions. It's estimated that globally, 20% of global emissions come from the transport industry. In the UK alone, that number is more like 24%. And out of that, about half of emissions come from light vehicles, light commercial vehicles, and transport of people. So the impact of moving the needle in this industry is significant. And as we continue making progress, the appetite from fleet managers and from global organizations and from business owners to move in this direction is very clear. But what are the type of hurdles they're trying to clear? If you are a fleet manager, and you've optimized how you run your fleet, or a small business owner that relies on movement, you've optimized it as of now with fantastic tools available. Data, telematics that let you optimize for routes. But it's all based on really two charging options. You can fuel at a depot, purpose-built for that, if you're a large organization, or you can fuel at a traditional gas or diesel station. It's as simple as that. What happens in an environment where that has changed radically, where on top of that, you have to decide how do you optimize your network and your investment. The charge use cases have been multiplied by a factor of 5 or 6. So now you have to decide which other energies are useful for your fleet. And it's not just electric, it's other sources of cleaner fuels on top of diesel and traditional petrol. And on top of that, there's more use cases. You can charge in a depot where you store your vehicles. You can charge at night where the users of your fleet park their cars. You need to charge, by definition, on the road. The stats around the number of times any fleet needs to charge versus a consumer is a factor of 5 or 6 with today's available infrastructure. So it tells you that for fleet managers, the move into other sources of fuel, the challenges are daunting for them. And this is where WEX comes in with the solutions we're trying to put together. But it's not just one part of the economy or one part of the industry that's going to move the needle. It's all of us working together as key stakeholders to make a change here. It's government agencies, it's businesses who are the backbone of the economy, who will be adopting these technologies if we help them navigate the complexities of how to manage their fleets. So where does all of this leave us? First, despite of all this complexity, we all know that mobility must be decarbonized to help stave off the worst effects of climate change. That is very clear. Second, companies like WEX, work with our customers, we know we have this big opportunity in front of us to meet that challenge and secure a better, brighter, and cleaner future for all of us. To make this meaningful impact, we know that commercial adoption is as important, if not more, than consumer adoption, if we really want to move the needle and get to net zero. For many business owners and managers of fleets, the opportunity to decarbonize is available today. There is no need to delay. And indeed, many of the benefits available will be a competitive advantage for those early adopters who get this right from a business perspective. And help is at hand. It is a complicated landscape, but there are experts here to help. And as you go around the conference today, you see the many offerings of true experts who are pushing adoption in the right direction. So with this context, the opportunity for many of us here this week is to push harder and faster to accelerate EV adoption, whilst creating new opportunities commercially along the way. So with that, I really like to thank you for your attention. I look forward to meeting many of you, continuing the dialogue this week, and thank you very much.